we have Miss Rashmi Bhandari. Welcome to the summit, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you
Next,
for the golden opportunity.
it's our pleasure, ma'am. Next, we have with us an extraordinary tech enthusiast with impressive app development skills and a special love for management. He has a great history of working in the e-learning industry and huge experience in both Android and iOS development. An amazing freelancer who enjoys public speaking and interacting with students is here with us today. Let me welcome Mr. Rohit Jayan, an eminent speaker who is here to help our students with his wonderful words of wisdom. Welcome, sir. Hello, Rohit sir, are you there? I think he's having some technical issues. I'll contact him right away. Over to you, Rashmi, ma'am.
Yeah, sure. Good afternoon, everyone. Let me share my screen. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes, ma'am, it's visible.
This window also, right? Like PPT. Able
Uh,
to?
yes, ma'am, we can see your screen. Okay,
Okay. One second.
now it has ended.
Yeah. I'll share once again.
Okay.
Hello. Yeah. I'll start with the basics of Dart. In before going to the Flutter session, I'll start the. We will be writing the code with the Dart language. So I'll start with that basics, how to do that, how to start with the Dart programming first. Then we'll go slowly by one by step again to the Flutter session. Okay. And currently I'm working in Go Hype Technology Private Limit. Go Hype Private Limited, and every start Dart is a programming language, and every programming language has an entry point. So Dart is a programming language, and we have an entry point is void main, and the file extension is dot. Okay, and before going to these things, let's start a little bit of programming also, like how to do the coding wise also. And this is a Dart pad. Usually in a browser, actually Dart is super cool. Okay, Flutter, I can say. Well, no need to use if anything small thing like we want to try, then you just in a browser also you can try those things. One is the this is a one. This is a Dart pad. I'll explain one by one. Like first, I'll go with the Dart pad, and there is a code pen is also there. That is actually online tools. Okay, Dart pad, code pen. Code pen is also like we have to search like this. Code pen or Flutter. Yeah, this is a code pen. From here also we can add the open Flutter editor. Here we can run the code and we can see the output here itself. This is super cool, right? I'll start by exploring with the little more about the dart pad first, and one by see. This is the void main. Okay, then when we'll open the new pad, it will ask whether Dart you want or a Flutter. Any like a business logic you want, just want to try. Where means you don't have a time. It will not take time much time to if you are using Android Studio or Visual Studio. What will happen? It will take more time to debug and all. So it is super cool, right? No need to install any software. Also, we can try small module like number is even or odd and like that and all. Some small stuffs we can achieve with the dart pad and code pen. Okay, and first I'll go with the currently I'm exploring with the dart thing. So I'll explain that. I'll select the new pad. I'll select dart. If you want to try with the Flutter thing, then you can go with the Flutter. I'll select the dart, then create, then this thing will come. I'll just run this thing, then I will get the output like this. Hello, 1 2 3 4 5. How? This is the for loop. For int I equal to 0, I less than 5, I plus plus, and print dollar of I plus 1 it is giving, because I otherwise what will happen? I'll get the output from I equal to 0 to 4. I change the thing from 0 to 4 because my starting point is I equal to 0. So before going to these all the things, I'll tell you there are statically typed programming language and dynamically typed programming language in Dart. What do you mean by statically typed programming language? Statically typed programming language is nothing but the once the variable we declare, right? For example, int a equal to 10. Okay, and the next I'll assign. Now I'm telling actually, for example, this is the variable type. This is a variable and this is the data type. I have assigned the variable for the a of integer type, that is 10. Let me print that value. Print a value is dollar a, and yeah, now I'll get the value as a value is 10. Now what I'll do for the variable a equal to, I'll assign some other type of data. For example, string value. Welcome to welcome to learn Flutter. See, this is a compile time error. It means that value a cannot take the value of string value. If I write with a double quotation or a single quotation, then it is a value of type string. It is in the previously I have declared value a is integer type. So I cannot assign the value to of type string to the variable a. When I write this thing, I'll run the code. In the in a console I'm getting that error like a value of type string cannot be assigned to a variable type int. This is called statically typed programming language. It is static. Once we declare the value to it, it is static. And before the value, we are declaring the type of it for the variable. That's why it is static. What do you mean by dynamically typed programming language? Dynamically typed means there are two ways to achieve that thing. If we are using any other programming language, so like dynamically typed programming language will be, can we do two things. One is dynamic and one more with the keyword of where I'll write a equal to 10. No, I'll write some other 20. Okay, and a equal to, I'll assign the value for the a. You can see my screen, right, Rohit? Welcome to Dart. Hello. String a is dollar a. One second. Self remove. Yeah. A is welcome to Dart. Here, this is the keyword of dynamic of A. Dynamically, I can, in a variable we are telling it is of dynamic type. You can initialize the value of any type, like it can be a string, it can be an integer, it can be a double, anything. Now I just tried with a integer value. You can assign 10.0 or 10.5, and 20 like double value I'll initialize 20.5. Now the a value before assigning the string value. What is the value? We'll see. A value before before assigning again. Okay. A value before assigning again is 20.6. After that again I reassigned the value of type string. Now a value a is welcome to Dart. This is the we can make the variable of type dynamically. That is a one with the keyword of dynamic, and one more with the keyword of where keyword. Where keyword is also the same thing. Is there a equal to 20.6. It's giving a suggestion also. Okay, now I'll assign the you come to know the difference, right, with the dynamic and value after. Okay, get the output as a before assigning again is 20.6. The a value after is hello. Okay, this is the dynamic keyword, and you understood what is the difference between the dynamic and var keyword is. In the var keyword, if you want to make a variable a as dynamic, then we no need to initialize in the declaration itself. But in the dynamic keyword, we can do that thing. You notice that difference, right? Now I'll go with the other point, like this is a dynamically typed programming language. Using Dart, we cannot stick only for the mobile apps. We can start the web apps and server side application also. It's super cool, right? And commonly, as I already mentioned, what are the commonly used editors available in the market? One is the Android Studio and Visual Studio Code, IntelliJ IDE, and Dartpad and CodePen. And while doing programming, right, and like Pehia Summit', there are so many we have helpers like community helpers in the Flutter team. So if you stuck in somewhere, you can ask over there in a group, and they will suggest us like how to do the solutions. Like Flutter, there are so many group in the market. In that also we can try. what happens, one more thing, like a dartpad pen, code pen, if you're stuck in somewhere and you want to add that thing, changes in the, you can try in a dartpad like over here, and we can share the code with the community, so they will help us in that. And that is the one. After that, what are the basics data types are available? One is the data types: integer, string, numbers. In numbers, there are two types, like int and double, and booleans. List, list and arrays are the one are the same things, and maps. Strings, you know, right? Like how to declare the value of type string. String is, which means fixed. We have to assign the value with the double quote or a single quote. This is a string value initialization. String A is nothing but, it's, we are assigning the value to the variable of type string. It is static type. Okay. As we discussed earlier, it will be the static type. We are initializing the value of A with the, we are telling to the compiler it is of type A, will be the type of one. After that, will there will be a type of how, I'll tell you one second, like how to declare the data type of booleans. Boolean, there are will be a, only two types. One is true value. One will be the of type false. A equal to true, in the value of A is A. Now I'll get the value of type true. If you want to assign the false value, then we have to assign with the false. Okay. And list and arrays are the same thing. And list is nothing but like, for example, list my employee list. For example, I have a employees list. Employees is equal to list of now I'll add the value employees with of in the list of type string. Okay, string variable I'll add in this list. Employee dot add of Rashmi. I'll add some other names. Sumit, like that. Then this is how we'll declare the list and will add the value to the list. And if you want to, this is the initialization. Okay, now I want to retrieve the data from the list, then using the for loop or iterator we can do. In this actually simple way, I'll just try with the integer value. Int I equal to 0, I less than I less than the employees dot length. Employee dot length. See, this is super cool because suggestion also is giving. I love the one which editor will give the suggestion. Now all the editor will be giving the suggestions. So there is no problem for the developers. Yeah. Now I'll print employees of height value. Employees Rashmi and see this only this much if I write like this dot 1 second. No, understood. 1 second. Here actually one thing we have to make clear. I'll tell you. Yeah. What is the problem? Here actually, when we are using the string, it is called string interpolation. This is a one more concept of pure oops concept. Actually, I can say, like, see what was happening when we are using a dollar symbol, right? If it is only the one word, for example, like I have a value like int a is 20. Okay, now I just want to print the value of a. Then a value is double, that double quote we have to add. Then if it is a single value, then simply $a. Okay, if it is a multiple value, like employees of from the list, you want to get the value of it, then you have to with a flower code, you have to bind that value. Then only you will get the correct value. Like employees of Rashmi and employees. What are the employees I have assigned here? Employees Rashmi, employees dot add of Sumit I have added. While retrieving the data, employees of Rashmi and Sumit. That dollar flower bracket employees and the which array index I have taken. I have to take the first will be the I0. In the zeroth index, I have the value of 0. In the zero index, I have value of Rashmi, and in the one position, I have the value of Sumit. That is printed over here. Understood, right? And next will be the map. How map? Map is just also same. I'll just keep the list part like that only. I'll explain the map first. And map will be the key value pair. You we in the college time also we studied what is list, what is map. Data types we know actually, and I'll how to I'll just put up those things like how we are using. Now, key value pair is called map. Okay, in the is of which type I'll add is string type. Okay, and 1 second. String map I'll add integer type in, and value I'll take the value of type string. Okay, in comma string here like I'll do it students is equal to map of C. Now students I'll add value to the map. That is like put students dot put if absent dynamic key is 1 comma hi. It will be the string is of the type functions. Okay, that's why I'm adding like this students. Okay, here value I'll assign. I'm why I'm doing when I write this thing, I get a error actually. Map is actually key cannot be a duplicate key will not be there in map. Okay, that's why it is giving an error for me. So I'll assign the key value as 2, and now hello number. Yes, it's correct. Okay, now I'll write how to retrieve the map value. I'll show. And I'll take from here only. It will be easy for me. So I'll take from here and students dot learn students dot contains key dot contains see here, like contains key contains value. If you want to retrieve the key, then key also can be taken, and value if you want value also. This is for each loop 50%. Remove if you want to particular key we want to remove from the list, then remove all, update the value. There are so many things, functionality is there. I'll just add the 40% dot contains key of dollar. I'll write. Okay. Yeah. Now I'll print it the value of it. Now student list. Yeah. One second. Put and get of I. Yes. Contains key means it will be checking whether the data is there or not. Okay. First value it is taking the value of one null, and next it will be taking the value 2. And I'll again add this thing. Hello. This is the value of get of I. Why is null? One second. Students of like dot students of dot keys. Yeah. This is the correct thing. And if you want to retrieve the value of it, students dot values of I. Okay. I hello. Yeah. This is how we have to do. Okay. Next will be the one more thing. Like all the data types are object in Dart. Okay. And one more thing, like default values are null until we initialize the value to it. Yeah. Like other programming language like Kotlin, Swift and all, it also support for the null safety. So even Dart is also started giving us support for the null safety. And why null safety is required? Null safety is required to what will happen if we in the programming language, what will happen if we are not handling the null safety, then there will, of course there will be a compilation time, sometimes compile time error will not be there, runtime error will be there. What do you mean by compile time error and runtime error? Compilation time error is nothing but when we are writing something, it will show the error to us, right? That is called compilation time error. For example, I'll remove these things. Int here a, I have initialized the value of type 10 and a equal to, I'll assign the value of some double value. Then it is called compilation time error. See, I received the error over here itself. This red mark, right? That is called compilation time error. When I run the program, I'll get it is actually a value string cannot be assigned to the variable of type integer. Okay, this is called compilation time error. And sometimes we won't come to know the error until we run the code. That time it is called the runtime error. Okay, that is one more thing. And why null safety is required? Null safety is required, that is because to handle the errors, and sometimes we won't be come to know what we are doing wrong. So to handle those things, compilation time error is required. Null safety is a good thing, good practice if you handle that thing. One more thing, like there are handling null safety, there are three keywords. One is the question mark, exclamatory marks, and the late keyword. There are, using these three things we can handle the null safety. One is the with the here I have a snippet I have added as a nullable expression to a variable that is non nullable. Use assertion operator. what is happening here? The void main is an entry point. I just came here for the entry point, and in question mark could be null but is not one. In the definition itself, it is telling as an nullable expression to a variable that is not nullable. Use assertion operator. Then in question mark could be null but is not. Here it is telling could be null but is not variable is there, right? In the question mark, it means it can be a null. It can be null. It cannot be. Both the scenario can be handled if we use question mark. One point is clear. Next, I'll be using list of in question mark, list that would could hold nulls 2 comma null comma 4. Here I have assigned a very in the in the list I have added the null value also. This is the another way we can declare the define the list. One I showed in the showed already using dot add keyword. One more list is same as like array, you know, right? That like that also we can do. And one more int a is could be null is not. Now int b list that could be here. B is the of type integer. List that could be list that could hold null dot first. I'll get the value. Here list that could hold is null is 2. First value I'll get. Okay. In this list I have assigned the value of 2 and I'm retrieving that first value of it, and I'm assigning the value to the variable b. And now in the console I'll get the value of b is 2. Now int c is could return null but it does not. Then exclamatory marks dot apps. Then I'll get the value of c. Okay, this is the one way with using exclamatory marks. Question mark also I just covered, and this is the using the what will happen. One is the like void main, my mean meal. Meal is the class, and meal set description. I have added the five joda. Then print my meal description. Set description meal when I'll constructor I'll be calling. This is called construction. Okay, null default constructor. Then constructor will go the content over here. Set description it will call the meal in the class meal. Late string description is there. Void set description. The control will pass the value to it, and the description value will be the joda. Okay. In the while printing the value of it, my meal description is will be in a console. It will be the joda. Now variable declaration and string interpolation. How to declare the value and how to retrieve the interpolation. This already I have covered in the practical in the dartpad itself. I just give a brush up for that. One is the void main is the starting point int a. After that I'll print the value of a is high. After that I'll print the value of a dot length. I have given the value of 20. B where b equal to welcome to Flutter info $b and int c it 10, and I'm printing just value of it, and bool d is equal to 20. I'm just printing that thing. Okay. And constants. What is constants? What are the keywords? If you want to declare the constant value, final and const keywords are the super cool thing. And final is it is actually final keyword will be used at the time of runtime. Grab the data. If in the compile time, if we are not initialize the data, also it is fine. It won't bother. But in the runtime, it will check the value. Once it we will be declare the value of final variable, then we cannot reassign it. Okay, in the reassign it. But in const keyword, it's like it is compile time data. It will check at the time of compilation itself. Uh, but in the final, it will check the data at the time of runtime. And one more thing, like what is the difference between dynamic, var, and the final? Dynamic and var keyword, you know all the difference already. Now I'll just take what is the difference between the final keyword. In my code snippet, I just added dynamic A is 123. Next, I'll add A value is 456. Of the type is integer itself. Okay. And now I'll add the value to the A is of string type with a single quote. Then I won't get any error. It's passed. Okay. Now var b equal to 1 to 3. I already told where b equal to 1 to 3. If we assign at the time of declaration itself, then we cannot reassign the value to it of type string. Okay. After that, final keyword. Final key is nothing but final C is 1 to 3. C is of type integer. It's fixed. Once we declare it, it is nothing. We cannot reassign the value to it. This is the one thing. And what do you mean by functional programming? Functional programming is everything in Dart is it's a functional programming. FUN, fun function with a variable name. Okay. Lambda expression and higher order express function is there. Two things. Lambda expression is nothing but or lambda expression. It's also name as fat arrow. If I have a multi-line of expression, then we can make it in a single line. That is also called lambda expression. For example, void main where x is equal to a of 4 comma 5. When a comma 5 I added, then control will come here. Function a equal to int a comma b. Return a plus b. The value of x will be now 9. 4 plus 9. Control where will be holding the value of 9. Now I just print the value of sum of values are $x. That is sum values are 9. This is a multi-line expression. Okay. If we want to use single line expression, we can do with this function a equal to int a comma b lambda expression. This is called lambda expression a plus b. The same function. This is a function in the return type. It has only one body, one line of body. Then we can with the using lambda expression. This is also called fat arrow. And one more is a higher order function. What do you mean by higher order function? One thing, when function accept function as a parameter, return as a function, or can do both, then it will be higher order function. One will be like void main function some function equal to a comma b lambda expression I have used a plus b additional result. Additional result is high is the string and some function. See here parameter is there, right? This is a parameter additional result. In additional result, I have a parameter, one is of type string and one is of types function. In the sum function, a comma b, a plus b, it returns value of 5. Means I have in the print value, I just added the value of x. The x I just added I have taken high. Additional result, control will go to the additional result function. Here string x I pass the value of high and function I have some function the value I'm passing the y is 2 plus 2 comma 3. 2 comma 3 it will take the value of what is the addition I have to do. It will be the 5. Arrow function will be satisfied at the time parameter will be taken as a function, it returns as a function, or can do both, or can do both the things like a parameter also function or the return type also function. Then it will be a higher order function. There are one more examples like void main where I do some call, do some task. I have function function division, int x, lambda expression, x by 2. It returns as function. Do some function, do some call, 10, 10 by 2 is 5. Exception handling. The main, if any, we come to know like there can be impossibilities, like there can be error in the future. For example, we are dividing by 100 by 0. In case we will be taking the data from the backend and from the server, API call we will be doing. So we don't know what is the value will be getting for division functions. That time 100 by 0 when we are doing, that time it will be a error, right? So that time inside some type of scenario to handle, we have to use exception handling in programming language. That will be one with a try catch. Try will be we'll be writing the program, we know where where there will be a error. There we have to use try and catch and finally block and on keyword. I'll tell you one by one about that thing. Try is a keyword. Catch will, try will throw the exception. Catch will catch the exception. And on keyword will be if you know particular exceptions, like for example division by 0 or format exception, integer division by 0 exception. There are multiple types of exceptions that will be handled with the on keyword. Okay, and finally block is nothing but it won't bother. If you throw exception, if you don't throw the exception, I will run what you will write inside me. That is the policy of final keyword. Okay, say here var division tilde character 100 tilde character by 0, then I'll get the unsupported operation z truncation. Division is infinity. Then in the exception I handled, I'll get the result is this thing. This exception will be handled with the print of the exception. But finally block I wrote just job done. That will be executed. There is no, I already told, just like finally block is won't bother anything. It will done what we'll write inside it, inside the finally block. And this is how we will be handling the exception. Try and catch. Try 9 by 2. I received the answer as because still character, right? So 4. And the division is 9 by 2. And then, for that, I got 4.5. There is no exception in this. Exception on handling, like on keyword is there. Like a division 100 by 0 I'll write, right? That cannot be divided. That is actually integer division by 0 exception. Format exception is there. There are so many exceptions name is there. Okay, in that this is 100 by 0 is the integer division by 0 exception, and it will print the value cannot divide it by 0, so that we come to
കുഴപ്പമില്ല,
know easily.
പറ്റുന്നത്രയും നീ ചെയ്തോ. തീരെ ചെയ്യാതായിക്കൊണ്ടെന്ന് വെച്ചിട്ടാ ഞാൻ ട്രൈ ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ട്. ഞാനിപ്പോ
Hello.
ലാബിലേക്ക് മോർണിംഗ് എന്തായാലും ആവുന്നില്ല. എന്നാലും നീ പത്ത്
Yeah. Next part will be taken by Rohit. Like why Flutter loves Dart. Rohit?
Yeah, yeah. So am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible.
Okay. So thanks, Ishwan. So I think all of you came to know what is actually Dart it is. So I'll be taking the what is Flutter and the rest part. So I'll introduce myself. So my name is Rohit and working as a Flutter developer in company called Idas. It's in Malappuram. So like for past 1 year I'm doing Flutter. So the thing is, I'll just
I think Rohit, it's already 12:53. We'll wrap up and we'll connect at 2 o'clock. Is that will be okay? And we'll ask the
I
participant
think
is
okay.
there.
Yeah, fine, fine.
Yeah. Is there any questions with the Dart and any problem you are facing in the current? We can discuss now.
Yeah.
Yes, participants can ask your questions now. There is a channel for Flutter app, text channel for Flutter app. You can ask your questions there.
Yeah, they can use voice channel as well as the text channel to asking the question. We'll wait for a couple of minutes, and then if there are no questions arising, we'll break. We'll break for the launch.
So anything?
Yeah, I guess there are no questions coming up. Adra, you can break then.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. We'll be continuing the session after the lunch break. Now participants can break for their lunch. Thank you for joining. We'll be continuing the session at 2 p.m.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
Thank you.